Okay, is everything working? Looks like a mic is working, and we have audio from the music. Okay. Okay, so yeah, welcome back to the stream. We're gonna continue to work on the enemies today, and we're gonna start working on the economy of the game. Yeah. So let me get this here. Yeah. So this is what we have for today. So last time we started working on the enemies, and actually let's review a bit what we've done last time. Let me restart the scene. So we've made this level manager, from which you can select a level and you can yeah, basically start it. Let me get to one of the enemies, and yeah, so you can start a level. So we previously had or we previously made that level definition, and now we can actually use it in the game. And yeah, the thing we've done last time is those enemies, which are no longer just simple game objects. They are entities. I mean, what I'm referring to entities in the context of ES framework, the framework that we use for the game. And yeah, so we've added some basic components to them. So for now, we have the health data, which currently is not actually used because we don't have anything that damages the enemies for now. And we have the enemy movement, which makes the enemies follow the paths that we have on the tower. So this is what the enemies are doing right now, and that's what we're gonna change, or not change, but yeah, we're gonna add to this today. So right now, when the enemies reach the top of the tower, they're just destroyed, and yeah, nothing happens. So what I would like to do today is create a component for damaging the tower. So whenever the enemy reaches the top of the tower, um, the the tower is gonna be damaged, and this component is gonna handle this. So it's gonna probably receive an event or whatever, hook to the movement component, and whenever the enemy reaches the end of the end of the path, um, it's gonna damage the tower. So it's gonna have a reference to the tower's health component, and it's gonna do some damage. Okay, so this is one, and after we do this, we're gonna start working on the economy. So the end goal is to make this so to make another component for the enemies, which I call it a reward component. And what this is gonna do, basically, whenever the enemy dies by having its health drop to zero, um, the player is gonna receive a reward. In this case, I mean, in the case of the game, we're gonna or the player is gonna receive money or whatever coins, whatever we're gonna call them, the currency. And yeah, this is what the component is gonna do. It's gonna hook into the health component. It's gonna listen for when the health reaches zero, and when that happens, the yeah the we're gonna reward the player for killing the enemy. But for this to work, we have to make some other things first. So um, yeah, one of them is the economy manager, which is gonna yeah, it's gonna be the entry point for our economy for um, adding and subtracting different currencies from the yeah for different purposes, and also the economy manager data, which is gonna be the component that actually holds the data, um, and this component is gonna be saved in the save file and yeah loaded when the game is loaded. So yeah, first we're gonna do the data component, then we're gonna do the manager to access the data, and after that we can make the reward component, um, and yeah, um, whenever the enemy dies, we're gonna uh, yeah call a method on the economy manager to add some currency. Yeah, to add some currency basically. Next, we're gonna do something simple. So I would like to have a money indicator on the screen. So this also is dependent on the economy manager. So I just wanna say something on the write something somewhere on the screen. How much money does the player have? Um, just so it's easier, so we don't have to click on the editor. And if we make a build, we're gonna have that value here on the screen. And last, we're gonna come back to something that we've done a couple of streams ago, which is enemy spawning. So we've done a component called enemy spawner, which is responsible for spawning enemies, given a definition. So we have a class that defines what type of enemies, how many of them, and at what rate they're gonna be spawned at. And right now, whenever an enemy is spawned, we are just instantiating a prefab, which for now is good, but yeah, it would be best to have to use object pools. Um, yeah, depending on how or what the enemies are gonna do, or how yeah how expensive their instantiation is. Yeah, we might want to use object pools, and just to be prepared, we're gonna do that right away. So yeah, we're gonna change the code to not instantiate the uh, the the prefab, but use an object pool to get an enemy and then populate it with data. Um, yeah, and then let it run in the game. Yeah, so those are the things that we're gonna do today, and we're gonna start with the damage component. Okay, so let me get this component or this task in progress. Let's start tracking the time. Get my OBS back in here. There we go. Okay, so let's see. I think yeah. Let's just open the enemy prefab that we have right now, and let's look at it. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, we're gonna do the damage component. Um, and the damage component is gonna hook into this enemy movement data, or not the data component, but the backing component, which is the enemy movement. And that's yeah. Currently, I don't think we have anything like that. So yeah, whenever we reach the end of the path, we're just destroying the object. We're still gonna do that for now, even though I've talked about that object pool. But before yeah, before destroying the object, we're gonna call an event or something. So an event that we can hook into um, Not sure where I should put it. I think I'm gonna put it in here. So something like public event, system action. Oh, come on. System action on and path reached. Something not a capital A here, like this. And we would have to invoke this here. Okay. So now we have an event that we can hook into from wherever we want. That's gonna tell us when the enemy reached the end of the path. So now we can start working on the damage component. So let's start doing that. I'm gonna start by doing a new folder, not the scratch file. I said a new folder, directory, damage. We're gonna make a runtime folder, and let's make the enemy damage enemy damage class. Let's edit the, so we don't want this part. I think we want enemies damage runtime, enemies movement runtime. Yeah, that's the structure. That's correct. It's gonna be an entity component. It's gonna have a load phase, but for now I don't think we need anything, so we're gonna complete the loading procedure right away. Okay, and let's see. Oh yeah. First, we'll have to do. Actually, no. Let's first copy this namespace. Let's go into the code. Let's see, not movement but damage here, and let's create a assembly definition reference. Runtime assembly. So the code is compiled into the same assembly. Let's wait for it to compile. Awesome. So now we should, yeah. Now this is part of the project our runtime assembly. Okay, so we have the component. We'll need the component data for this. So let's create that. It's gonna be a class with data at the end. No, not any entity data. It's gonna be something like this. Public struct serialized this. Serialized. It's gonna be serializable. Have to add here this. And now he wants us to implement some not public partial. He wants us to implement members that come with the entity data, but I'm not going to do that in this this file. I have a convention of doing certain in other files. So yeah, implement everything. So for now, when we get data, we don't do anything with it. And here we have to return new this. So for now that's okay. So those methods are for saving and loading a component. Yeah, for now, for the damage component, I don't think we'll need to save anything. but we'll have to declare some data in here. So public. So we'll need the. I think we'll need three things. So first we'll need we'll need the damage that we're gonna do to the tower, the damage amount. Amount. Let's tab group tabs dot group tabs dot this will be in the general tab. Okay, so we want the damage amount. So damage we're gonna do. We want to do. I think that's okay. Yeah, so damage amount. We're gonna need reference to the enemy movement. And we're gonna put that in a tab as well, but not the general tab. We're gonna put that in the internal tab. Okay. And we're also gonna need a health reference to a health component, which is the tower health. Yeah. Because for damage in the tower, we'll need the reference to the health component so we can apply the damage. Okay, so I think this is everything that we need. Let's go back to the component here, and let's say that we use this damage data as our data source for the component. And let's see. Yeah, I am going to do something in the load phase, and that is we're gonna go to our entity movement. We're gonna hook onto this event and path reached. Okay. And in here, so when the end of the path is reached, the dot tower health dot take damage, the dot damage amount. I think that's everything that we have to do. Let's make this an expression body. Yeah. Typically, I think that's everything that we have to do for the component. So now, no, we were in the right place. So let's go back to here. Okay. Let's add the damage data component. Let me move this to here would be a good place. 180. Yeah, like this. Okay, so we have the damage amount in the general tab. We have the internal tab with the enemy movement. Let me drag this in here, and we don't have the tower health. So this is something that we don't have, and I think we're gonna assign the value when we instantiate the enemy. Yeah. And when we instantiate the enemy, we're gonna assign this value. So we're gonna leave it empty for now. We can't put anything here anyway. And let's say some damage. Let's say 10 HP or something. We're gonna do 10 damage to the tower. Now we'll have to create a component as well. So unlock children, enemy image. This everything has been assigned correctly, and I guess that's it. Let's go back. Let's log the children. so they can be edited from outside the prefab. And no, that's not it. Yeah, I just said that I need the tower health in here somehow. So let's actually close everything and let's go to the enemy spawner. We'll have to do something similar to what we've done here. We'll have to get um, um, enemy damage, data, tower health, and we'll need a reference to the tower health. So yeah, I need to get that from somewhere. Uh, let's put null for now. Yeah, so in here, this is where we're gonna value. So let's make a health, tower health, health. Yeah, I want the whole thing. So here with like this. Oh, actually, should be like this because it's a private. Our health. Okay. And now let's go to where this method is called. So it is the enemy manager, and here we're gonna do that. So private health tower health. It's gonna be a serialized field, and we're gonna pass this to the yeah. So we're passing this to the setup function. I don't want to update right now. Wait. Okay, so let's go back. So now we have this tower health, and now we can replace that null in here. So now all we have to do is go to our enemy manager, which is this, and assign the health component, which we'll find in here. So health, this one. So that should do it. Theoretically, right now we should be set up to damage the tower whenever an enemy reaches the top. So let's try that. So let's start a level. This one, invoke. Have our enemies, let them reach the top. Let's wait for them at the top. So we have 100 health, and there we go. So each of the enemies took out 10 health. So yeah, we remained with 80 health for the tower. So now we should get more enemies. Let's put this on fast so everything happens rapidly. Just keep the cooldown. Let's wait for more enemies. I wonder what's gonna happen if we reach 0. I think it's capped at 0, so we're not gonna go into the negative numbers. Let's keep cooldown again. So now we're at 0. Theoretically, right now we would have to show the user that he lost the game. Yeah. So we are capped at 0. So that's good. So this is it. So we have the component. It's hooked. It's hooked to whatever it needs to be hooked at, and the tower damage whenever an enemy reaches the top. Is there anything left to do? This looks okay. Oh yeah, there is something that we can do. So let's go back to the damage data. Yeah, for the damage amount, let's add a mean value of 1. Actually, I'm not sure if this should be a float. I think we should work with ints, maybe. Oh, and yeah. Now that I think about it, there are a couple of things to do here. Okay, so yeah, so we do. I don't know if we keep it as a float or if we should have it as an int. Yeah, I think we're gonna keep it as a float for now. Yeah, no, yeah, we're gonna keep it as a float. Okay. So in that case, let me put a mean value of 0. Okay. So we have this. One thing that we have to do is public link. Something like this, and we have to put it in the same group. And let's indent it. What else? Let's make it disable in play mode. Should we actually let's disable this as well in mode? Okay. Yeah. So what I would like to do is, um, I'm not sure actually how to do it. What is? Yeah, come on. I know I'm streaming. You don't have to remind me. Yeah. So we have a system in place in our waves definition. Yes. Yeah. So this is the definition of a one, the one that we just saw. So we're spawning this enemy. We're spawning 2 of them. We're spawning 2 units per second, and we have some multipliers for the stats of the enemies. So yeah, for the health we're not doing anything. For the speed, we're doing 3 times the speed, and we would like to have the same thing for damage. So yeah, that's yeah, I would like to have the same thing for this. Now let's look at the health component and see what we've done. Not the health, but the data. Okay, so we'll need an enemy definition and a wave manager to know or yeah, to know how to get the multiplier. Okay, so we're gonna take those 2 fields. We're gonna plot here with uh, with this on them. I might keep this enemy definition somewhere common for the like in a common component, but for now we're gonna keep it here. Okay. And let's see what we do for health. So in the load phase, we're doing this. Okay. Uh, yeah, for the damage anyway, this is gonna be a bit simpler. Because for the health, we use the health component for enemies and for the tower. So we have to take so and the tower, the value for the tower is gonna be saved in the save file, so we have to do some extra things in there. But for the enemies, we don't have to do them because we're not gonna save the enemies in the save file. You won't be able to save the game during a wave, so you'll only be able to save the game during the cool between waves. So in that yeah, in that during that cooldown, no enemies are available or are spawned in the scene. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna do something similar. So in our load phase, we're gonna take the damage amount and we're gonna multiply it by d dot um, wave manager multiplier for stat, d dot enemy definition, d dot damage stat. That's it. We'll only have to assign. Yeah, we'll only have to assign the values. So then we can assign directly in the prefab, and that is the enemy definition, because we know what 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 type of enemy this is for. The wave manager we can't assign in the prefab because it's the wave manager is here in the scene. It's a mono behavior. So we'll have to do the same thing in the enemy spawner, but thankfully we actually have a reference to the wave manager here because we needed it for the health component. So we just have to assign it, and that should be it. Wave manager. Sure. So now whenever we spawn an enemy, and we have a multiplier for the damage. Oh yeah, we have to create. Um, let's see here. Yeah, whenever we have a multiplier, apply it. So now let's create that small enemy um, damage stat, and we have to assign it in the UI. So this is the stat, the damage, and now we can go back to the waves. We can add another multiplier in here. We're gonna choose the damage stat, and well, let's do a multiplier of 2. So instead of the 10 10 yeah, the damage of 10, we're gonna each enemy is gonna do a damage of 20. Let's get ourselves at the top of the tower. Here we go, and let's start the level. Evoke. Here are our enemies. We're gonna wait for them to appear. Here's one, and when he reaches the top, yeah, there we go. Instead of getting a total of 20 damage points, we actually took 40 damage because each of the enemies dealt 20 points of damage. Okay, so we have we have control of multiplier for the damage. I'm gonna remove this because this is no longer necessary because we've done multipliers for the component here. That's just a leftover comment that I should have removed last stream. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's it. Let's see it again. Let's keep the cooldown. A new wave started. The enemies are coming. So where are they? They're gonna come. Oh, there we go. Another 30 points of damage there. Cool. so I guess this task is complete. Let me see. Is there anything else? I don't think I've actually nothing here. Yeah, I think this is it. Have more players. We are damaging the tower. I don't think there's anything else that we have to add to this. So yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna commit the code and we're gonna move to the next task. Let's see, just do a small review. So we have that assembly reference, the stat, some folders. Those are the components. Let's just review them. Um, Even though there's not a lot of stuff happening here. So we are hooking onto the event, we're applying the multiplier, and then we're finishing the load phase. Let's look at the data. So nothing um, interesting in here. Um, we don't need to serialize anything. So yeah, we're okay here. And now that I think about it, given the fact that we're not gonna serialize anything, I don't think we need this actually. We're just gonna have a simple entity data. Um, and those methods are actually not necessary, so we're gonna remove the whole um, the whole file, and let's remove the partials from here. So yeah, because I know we're not gonna save this in the save file. There's no point in adding that functionality to the data component. So it's just gonna be a simple mono behavior. We still need it to be a type entity data because we're using it in other parts with this data type. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else. Let's do so that we've changed something in the enemy movement, which is that event that we've added. Yes. We've changed something in the enemy manager, and that is yeah. So we've added the health component and we've passed it to the spawner. In the spawner, we are yeah, we save that value and then we assign it to the damage data component, which is correct. And then some other changes that we don't care about. Yes. Cool. So now we should be able to just commit this. I want to commit everything. Publish. Please work. Thank you. Okay. So now we can start working on the economy. The first task is this economy manager. Thankfully, there are some things that we're gonna um, Actually, for the manager, we're gonna reuse some stuff that we've already made. For the data, we're just gonna it's just a class that's gonna hold data. Okay, but yeah, so let's start working on this. The time. Let me get OBS back in here. No, actually, yeah, I have to look at something. So, um, we're gonna do something similar to what we already have, which is for the upgrades. We have this upgrades manager, and what is used for? So in here, upgrades, the inspector, yeah, we have the list of upgrades that um, the player can make in the game for different things. One of them is this tower health upgrade, which defines yeah, an upgrade by which you can increase the max health of the tower. But that is irrelevant. What I wanna look at is data prefab. So um, this is an entity that holds the data for our yeah, for our manager. So we're gonna do something similar for the economy. We're gonna have a similarly structured component. So let's do that. Let's make a folder here in the scripts, the root called economy. And let's make that component that we need. So we'll need uh, economy manager data. This is gonna be a entity data like this. Public struct this. This is a unlike the previous component that we've made. This one we will want to serialize. Because it's gonna contain information that we will want to remember. You know, the money of the player, and the other currencies that we're gonna have. Let's make the other class that we need. So this.io. Make partial and implement missing members. This is gonna need nothing, and this is gonna return this, like so. For now, we don't have data, but we're gonna come back to this and implement it correctly. Okay, so actually right now we have everything that we need to make a prefab like this one. So let's do that. Let's make it here. Um, economy manager data. We first need an entity root. You will need a children lock and the component we just made, which is the economy manager data, which right now is empty. And one other thing, we're gonna need an entity importer. What the entity importer does is a let's call it a helper component that serializes and deserializes the data in the entity. And yeah, the save system interacts with directly with this importer for loading and saving stuff. So if you have this component on an entity, that entity is gonna be saved in the save file. If you don't have this, no one is gonna know your entity. So yeah, we have to add it because, as I said, we want to save data in this entity. Okay. Let's make a folder here, economy, and let's make this a prefab. Good. One thing that we have to do. Oh, that actually did it. So we want the children components of this root object to be locked. And by locked, I mean we can't interact with anything in any components. You would have to. I have this component which lets you unlock the children, able to modify stuff on them, and whenever you're done with it, you can lock it back again. And what that does is whenever you instantiate the prefab in the editor, you won't be able to modify things inside the prefab. Yeah, yeah, that's what it does. Okay, so we have let me check something real quick. Yeah, so we have this we have this prefab with this component, and now what we have to do is define the data in this component, so what we're gonna actually save. So I've thought about this a bit, and let me get this in here. So here is the economy manager data, and those are the things that we're gonna save. So we're gonna have a list of currencies. Right now in the game we have two currencies. One is the money, and another one is a special currency with which you're gonna do the upgrades. Um, we're gonna have a list of currencies. We're gonna create a link or link scriptable objects to do to link stuff in the game. We're gonna have a link for the currency. We're gonna have the amount that we currently have. We're gonna have a default amount. So in case you wanna, actually I'm not sure that we need the default amount. Now that I think about it. Now that I think about it, I don't think we need default amount because the amount would have. Yeah, actually we don't need a default amount. I was thinking that I was thinking that maybe we would need it in case we restart a game and something, but this, if we don't have a save file, this component we've just made, uh, data in the component is not gonna have, I mean, it's not gonna receive anything, so it's gonna use the values that it already has, serialized by Unity. So whatever we put in the amount, it's gonna be the default. So yeah, we actually don't need this. Oh my god. So I only have the currency, the amount, and an integer variable which we're gonna use in case we want to display, and we will want to display it, the amount that for the currency. If you want to display it in the UI. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that. So we'll need a data structure for this. So let's make a public struct, maybe. Public struct currency. Actually, no, I want it to be a class. It's gonna be easier to work with. Currency info. Public link currency. Public int amount. Public integer integer no int variable. amount. Okay, let's do some things in here. So this is gonna be required. Main value, this is gonna be 0. Gonna put a space in here. What else? Yeah, we need to make this system serializable. And I think that's it, or at least for now. So now we can do public list. Or actually, let's make it an array. This array of currency info. Currency info. Let's add it to a tab group. Tabs dot base group tabs dot general tab. And we're gonna copy this in like this. Now we have to actually use it. So here currency info is currency info, and currency info equals serialized data dot currency info, like this. And the rest is gonna the system is gonna do the rest, like actually serializing this data into a string and then deserializing it for us whenever we need it. So yeah, this is all we have to do in here. Yeah, actually that's it. Let's look at the component now. Let's see how it looks like. There we go. And now that I think about it, I wonder if yeah, but if I move that, I was wondering if I should keep the currency values in the prefab. So you would have to this prefab to change the defaults. It's not that cute, but I can make custom editors later for modifying this prefab automatically. So yeah, actually that's okay. Yeah, so for now we're gonna have it like this. So we have currency info. Let's add a new currency to the game. Currency is required. Of course it is. Let's make a new link, which I'm gonna call coins currency. Uh, Here. So coins currency. By default, we're gonna have 100 coins, let's say, and we're gonna need a variable for the UI. Let's make it in here. Um, ESF variables integer. Um, let's see. Coins amount amount. In here we can assign this like so. Okay. So now we have the component. And actually that's kind of it, at least for this, because the heavy lifting is gonna be done by the manager. We only need this data component so we can save the data in the save file. But for now, this is actually everything that we need. I wonder if hmm, no, that's okay. Save the scene. Yeah, I think that's everything that we need. I think that's everything. Because yeah, as I said, the heavy lifting is gonna be done in the manager itself. So just for holding the data, I think this is everything that we need. Okay, we're gonna stop the or close the task in here. Actually, let's change this to yeah. Okay, feature create economy manager data. We did that. I don't think a review of the code is necessary. I don't think so. Yeah, let's publish this. Come on, I know you can do it. There we go. So now we can start working on the manager itself. So yeah, let's track the time for the manager. Okay, let's create that. Economy manager. I think we need this to be a service. Yes, we do. Actually, let's copy this. Because as I said, we're gonna do things similarly to what we've done with the. Oh god damn it! I forgot about this. How did I not notice this? Okay, ESS dot economy. I oh okay. I've missed a lot of things apparently because I haven't even done the yeah. I have, and I also don't have a runtime folder. Oh my god. I mean that's not bad. It's just I forgot. Runtime. Let's move everything to the runtime folder. How has to be dot runtime here and here. Now let's get into this code and create our assembly definition reference. Not dot runtime. God damn it. F2 ESS AASS dot um, economy dot runtime, and in here we're gonna reference the runtime like so. Let's put the compile and um, can you compile now? You can't compile because oh my god, it's so stupid. No, why can't I just comment this? There we go. Now it's gonna. Now you're stupid. I've just saved this file. Everything is commented. Okay, let's comment this. Let's remove this. Let's remove this. Let's save. Can you please now? Where do you see? Okay, no, this is getting annoying. I'm gonna just remove the whole file. Can you please now do it? No, you can't. What the hell? The file doesn't exist. That file doesn't exist. But it's here. Yeah, there's nothing because it doesn't exist. Oh, now he just created it. That's amazing. I delete it from here, and you're gonna be happy. They're still not happy. You just okay. Let's restart the editor. It's almost 12 o'clock. I should see what what I'd like to eat today. Okay, now you're compiling. Looks like everything's fine. So now I can create I can create my class again. Yeah, keep it like this. I think I can paste. Yep. Import everything, import members and implement whatever. Just let me compile this, please. There we go. Compiled it. Let's look at the service inspector. Yeah, of course, we're not seeing it yet because we have to create an asset for this. Menu name, project tower. I don't think if I think it's without a space. So project tower, economy manager. Go to the project, and in here create project tower, economy manager. There we go. Something's I think keeps bugging me. I don't know why. No, this is okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is what we want. We're gonna copy this because we're gonna do something fairly similar, and we need that data prefab hide in play mode. That's not something. Actually, I wonder if it works. Data. Obviously, this doesn't make any sense. We have to use the data type here and here. Now it should be fine. So now if we go back and click on our economy manager, assign this. Also, should be able to see it. Yeah, there we go. Economy manager up here. And now when we play the game, we should be able to see and we're not. Oh, because the name is stupid. So this should be economy manager data. Economy. Actually, let's do it like this. The problem why I'm assigning this again is because whenever you instantiate the prefab, you're gonna get uh, yeah, a copy. Yeah, the name is gonna be changed, and it's just gonna add a word at the end. So I don't want that. I want it. Yeah, no, this one. Yeah. So we have economy manager with the data we set up inside the prefab. Nice. Nice. So now all we have to do is create methods for interacting with data. Um, hmm. So we'll need two methods. Um, we'll need a method for adding money or adding currency, and one for currency the from the system whenever we want to spend it. So uh, add currency, add and remove. I think. Um, currency and in amount. Add remove, and I another one which is has. It's gonna return a bool, because before removing currency would have to check if we actually have enough currency to remove. We don't want to get into debt. But let's with adding currency. So actually let's return true in here. So add currency. What do we want to do? Actually private currency info, get currency info for a currency. Actually, this can be an expression body. So we're gonna go into data, currency info, first or default. Yeah, sure. First or default. I think I can pass this. I need a, and it wouldn't have worked anyway. Currency info, currency info dot currency is equal to this currency. No, I don't want to change that. That has to be a link. So get currency info for currency dot amount plus equal amount. That's simple. Has currency. Has currency. Currency info. Get currency info. Currency. Currency info not null. Uh, and currency info dot amount is larger or equal than the amount that we specify. So this is correct. And also we have to do if not has currency. Actually, no, let's bake this in. It's gonna be simpler. Really, let's do a bool in here as well. So if the amount that I have is less than the amount I subtract, I'm gonna return false. Otherwise, return true. And minus equal in here, and semicolon in here. Currency info. If this is null, or yeah, like this. So that should cover everything. Let's add the buttons for this. Button for adding and subtracting currency. so they won't work in um, they won't work in editor mode, but play mode. Yeah, here we go. So we have 100 coins. We can add coin currency, and we want to add 10. Bam. There we go. We just added 10 coins. Let's try to remove the 10 coins. There we go. And the result is yes. Let's try to subtract 100 coins. Still good. Let's try to subtract 100 again. The result is false. We can't subtract 100 coins because we don't have 100 coins in this storage, in the bank, or whatever you want to call it. And now that I think about it, there's one other method that we need. Public int get currency. So maybe you need to know how much currency there is in the or how much currency the player has. That's what I'm trying to say. Get currency info for currency and get the amount, and that's it. So we're just gonna return that. And I want to do another thing here. So property space after 8 equal. Why can't I? Because it's the capital S and with an equal sign like this. And let's do the same for data prefab. So I want the two buttons to be a bit separate from the top part. So we should get a small space between those two. There we go. That's okay, but it's okay, but not okay. So I want the space after, but I don't want the space before. So let's do 0, 8. So space before 0, space after 8 pixels. And let's do the same for this one. I don't want the space above. There we go. And now if we play, we should get, there we go. There is a small space between this and the things below. Okay. Something else that I want to do is in this data component, in here, I want to well, actually, can I disable the whole list? That would be easier. So in play mode, I would like this list to be read-only, basically. I don't want to be able to modify the list at runtime. I want to use those methods that I've provided here. Yeah, that's awesome. So I want to use the methods in here to interact with the data here, but I still want to read it in case I need anything from it. Cool. I think this is done as well. No, there's one other thing that I forgot about, which is this amount UI that I've done. I haven't done anything with it in here, And now that I think about it, I don't think I want to do anything with it here. Question: can this be a? Yes, it can. Yeah, I think I want to add. So even though this is public, no, I think I wanna. Yeah, I wanna do something here. So I want this to be private. Private int amount. This is gonna be a serialized field, and I want the public int amount with a getter and a setter. Amount and a setter which is gonna be a bit. It's gonna do. Yeah. Amount is value, but also the amount UI dot value is value. But first we have to check if we have this. So if this isn't null, we're gonna assign the value to the UI a variable as well. And in the manager it should be transparent this. It goes to the getter and the setter. But there is one small problem. Yeah, but that can be addressed. Yes and no. Um, so one problem that we have is wait. Let me think about this. Yeah. So we assign this currency info, and in here we should yeah, we should set the amount, the UI. But that's not gonna work if we don't have. So the problem is that the first time we're not gonna set the correct value in the variable. We're not gonna set the value at all. So in both cases, when we get the data from the save file and when we don't have data, like it's a new game or something, we'll have to set the correct value in the variable. And right now I'm thinking where that place should be. I mean, I could do it in the data component on awake and set the value there, and on top of that, in here, when we get or if we get serialized data, we should also set it to the variable so we have the correct value. So yeah, I think we're gonna do it in two places, and we might actually do it in here. Let's see. No, we're gonna do it in here. So private void setup UI for each currency info currency info dot amount UI dot nope dot value should be currency info dot amount. First, we do have to check this. If this is not null, do this. And on awake, we're gonna call setup UI. And we're also gonna call setup UI after we assign the data in here. So now, let's see. Let's get our variable for the UI, which is this. So now let's get the properties for this so we can keep an eye on it. Get back to the economy. Yeah, so right now, yeah, we're in play mode. We have 100 coins, but in the variable we don't have anything. If we play again, what we're gonna see is that 100 currency that we have, they should show up, but they did not. What? Okay, that's not something that I expected. But because everything is set up in here, my suspicion is that we don't get a call on the awake. Let's try that. So bug, let's get an empty message. Yeah, so let's look at this. My thinking is that the awake that is not called, but it was. Now that is interesting. That is actually interesting. Why don't we have values in here? So we can actually just put a breakpoint and inspect it. Yeah, enable debug. Let's exit play mode. Do get awake, but we don't have data. That is weird. We don't have data. We should have data in here. Yeah, we're gonna know. We're gonna find out right now why we don't have data. So this currency info currency. Oh, it is 0. It is actually 0. Why? Why is it 0? It does have. Oh, of course it's 0. I'm stupid. My bad. Of course it's 0 because we've. I think if we go to the data here, yeah, it's 0. We've changed the name of the field. So before it was what is it? So before it was amount with a capital A and without the underscore, and now yeah, it has this. Let's put 100 in here. Now when we play, there you go. We have 100 in there, and we got the value in the variable. And now, whenever we do things with those methods, let's get the currency in here. So we have coins currency invoke. We got 110 here, 110 here. So now we can easily use this variable in the UI and get the correct value for the coins. So we know exactly how many coins we have in the game. But that's a different task. We're gonna do that later to display the money. But yeah, this works. Okay, let's remove this. Let's make this an expression body again. Oh, there is a no. Let's remove that. Okay. Okay. Good. Let's end the task here and look at this. We've actually done it in the time I allocated for this. Exactly 30 minutes. Cool. So now I have the economy manager, which means that we have a place to store the currency the user has. Let's do some review of the code. So let's start with the economy manager. Some imports, data prefab and the data. Yeah, that's what we need. We have those methods that we also need. Get currency info. Yeah. Add currency, has currency, remove currency, get the currency. And then we have this reset part from the service, or because it's a service, we have this reset part. Cool. Economy data. Let's see what we've changed. Yeah. So it says that we've changed all of this, but the reason is that we've actually moved the file, so those are not interesting to us. And here's the asset. Yeah, that should be it. Feature, publish. Yeah, and now we can work, or we can come back to the, what is this? Yeah, now we can work on the reward component. So whenever the enemy is killed, we're gonna get some currency from him, whatever currency we choose to put there. But yeah, we're gonna get some reward. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna take a short break, and then we're gonna come back to this. Do we still have music? Yes. Is it gonna keep going till I'm back? Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna be back in a couple of minutes, and we're gonna continue with with that reward component. I'm back. Okay, so yeah, like I said, we're gonna start working on the reward component now that we have the economy things in place. Yeah, yeah. So let's start working on this. Let me track the time. Let me get OBS and let's start this. Okay. So enemies. Yeah, we're gonna go to enemies. We're gonna make a new folder called reward. Reward. And we need to do a runtime folder in here. And let's make that component. So it's gonna be called enemy reward. Let's clean up space, ESS, enemies, reward, runtime. Yeah, that's it. Copy. Scripts here, here. Assembly definition. Ref. Inspect. Reference the runtime. Apply this. And now we're gonna get. There we go. We're in the runtime assembly. So now I can start working. So this is gonna be a component. Yeah, you're gonna have a load phase. We are not gonna care about the load phase right now. So let's complete the load instantly. And now we need the, nope. Data. Entity data, we're not gonna save the value, so we're gonna use the base class, which means I can already set it up in here. Good. So, yeah, I'm gonna do something that we currently haven't discussed about, but yeah, I'm gonna make the system expandable in case we're gonna want to do that. So instead of having one single currency that we're gonna get from the enemy's death, I'm gonna make a list of currencies that we're gonna get and the amounts for them. Yeah, maybe we're gonna have like more powerful enemies that are gonna give some other types of currencies, or I don't know, stuff like that. In case we want to do that, we're gonna have that in place. Otherwise, yeah, we're not gonna do anything with it. But it's not gonna be a problem that we have it. So public class enemy reward info. Oh, like this. No, we're not gonna make this. Actually, no, we need to make it serializable because we need that for Unity. So system serializable public link currency public int amount. This is gonna be min value 0 or min value 1. This is gonna be required. And now that I think about it, in the economy, here we put a value of 0. This should be 1. It should be at least 1. No, my bad. No, 0. 0 is correct. For a reward, it doesn't make sense to have a reward of 0. Yeah, no, that's actually correct. Yeah, so we have this. And now we can make an array of this. called rewards. Let's put it in a in a tab. So tab group, tabs dot base group, tabs dot general tab. And actually that's kind of everything we need. The other part is gonna happen in the enemy reward. And actually no, we first have to do something in the health component. So let's go to common health. So right now, so yeah, we need to know when the enemy is dead, basically. So yeah, we're gonna add some or actually no, we're gonna add only one event in here. Public event system dot action on health 0. So take damage, save it in the UI, and if d dot health is equal to 0, we're gonna invoke this. So now what we can do, first of all, health, enemy health. Let's call it like this. Let's put a tab group, and this is gonna be internal. And now in the enemy reward, here we can hook into that on health 0 plus equal and on health 0. So when the enemy is dead, we're gonna reward the player. But for that to happen, we actually need a reference to the economy manager. This is also gonna be in the internal tab. So d.economy manager dot add currency, not really. d.rewards, d.rewards dot for each reward dot currency and reward dot amount. Yeah. So whenever the health is 0, we're gonna reward the player with the rewards that we've set up for the enemy. Unfortunately, currently we don't have a way of killing the enemy because we don't have towers. So we're gonna simulate that by setting the health of the enemy to 0 manually. But first, let's set up let's add the component enemy reward data. So yeah, we're gonna set up the rewards, but first let's set up the health, and then economy manager, it's this. Let's unlock the children. Let's create that enemy reward like so. Let's log the children again, and yeah, let's choose a currency. Right now we only have coins. Yeah, whenever we kill the enemy, we're gonna get 10 coins. And now think about it, there's one other thing that I have to do. We have to add multiplayers for this as well. But yeah. And there are other things that okay. There are some things that I think that don't work. I think yeah. We're gonna look at that later. Okay, so now we've added a reward on the small enemy. We're gonna start the game. Let's start the first level. So invoke. Let's pause the game so we can get a real quick reference to the enemy. And let's see what else. Actually, no. I would like to have the economy open up. Let's get properties for this so we can have a look at the coins. And I have the small enemy, or at least one of them. In the components, in the health, actually, can I unlock it? Yes. In the health, we have a function for damaging the enemy. So we're gonna just take a lot of damage because I don't know, it has a 100 damage, but just to be sure. So now let's rotate the camera a bit. So now the game plays. If I do this, we should get 10 coins in here. Bam. Fortunately, it still keeps going because even though it's health, so we can look at this. Even though it's health 0 right now, we haven't done the part where we hook into the health and destroy the enemy. We're gonna come back to this when we start implementing the weapons, because that's where we actually need. But for now, this does the trick. So the health reached 0, and because of that, we've gained 10 coins because uh, the enemy is actually, or is supposed to be, dead right now. So yeah. Let's see what's happening with this. Oh yeah, nice. Okay, so yeah, this seems to work. Yeah, it's after having the whole economy thing, the component is a very small one. But yeah. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna stop here with this task. Let's first do some review of the code. So we've added the event and we're invoking it here. What else have we done? We've done the reward component. So on the load phase, we are hooking onto the health event, and we have this method for awarding or for adding the currency rewards. Okay. And in the data, we have this class which holds the info for a reward, so the currency and the amount of the reward. We have the list of rewards. We have a reference to the enemy health and a reference to the economy manager, so we can award the rewards. I think that's it. Let me look at here. So yeah, all the imports are being used, so no problem there. But there was an issue. Oh yeah, yeah. First, let's get to the issue, and we're gonna. Oh no. First, let's do this, and then we're gonna look at the issue. So we actually forgot to implement multipliers for rewards. So also for the rewards, we should have multipliers in case we want to make more powerful enemies. It should increase the reward as well. So actually, we're gonna have currency amount and another public link um, currency stat, and actually let's put it right under the currency. This is also required, and let's indent it. Okay. And in here, we're gonna need a reference, or no, we're gonna need two references. And now comes the part where, yeah, what's the damage component I've done previously, right? Yeah, so I'll need those two things. So I'll need the enemy definition and the wave manager for getting the multiplier for the rewards. So let's see. Um, yeah, the wave manager is okay to have a reference to it there. Not sure about the enemy definition. If we should also um, hmm, if we should duplicate this field as well, or make a component that holds this thing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Let's make just a simple component in here. Entity, enemy, entity, entity. I am gonna look at something. Uh, this should be just a simple mono behavior. I'm wondering what this is. Oh, this is a lifecycle component. Interesting. But yeah, I don't care about the life cycle, so I don't need this actually. And now that I think about it, does the entity root care about the life cycle? I have to look into this. Because I don't think I need a life cycle component here. But I might be mistaken, so I'll have to come back to this. But anyway, this should just be a mono behavior, I think. Because, or at least for now, its only purpose is gonna be to hold this, and we're not even gonna have a tab for this. We are gonna hide the monoscript though. But yeah, it is everything that it needs, or yeah, that it needs to do right now. Keep a reference to the enemy definition. So enemy entity, yeah. In the enemy reward data, we're gonna have public this. We're gonna put it in the internal tab, like so. Let's import it. Actually, what's namespace? Yeah, enemies runtime. That's correct. And we're also gonna need this in here. Okay. We ran out of songs. Nope. It's just okay. So now in the enemy reward, we are able to. So let's see var amount equals reward. Math f dot. Oh no, just we have the. Yeah, we have Unity Mathematics. Math. Oh, but I don't have that. Have round. Cast doesn't need. Okay, so reward amount multiplied by d dot wave manager dot get multiplier for stat for d dot this enemy definition and reward dot currency stat, and this is gonna return 1 if I don't have a multiplier. Cool. So we're good in here. What's that? Oh yeah, that's fine. And now we can use this amount in here. So now we're taking into consideration the, or at least, yeah, we're taking into consideration the multiplier for the stat. So let's see how that works. First, I'll go to the prefab and assign everything. So small, yeah, we don't have a stat for this, so let's create one. So create our link. So small enemy coins currency stat. Okay. Theoretically, we could use the same link for the currency. So maybe we should. I'll think about it. Yeah, I'll see if because we can use it's the same component type, but I'll see if we're gonna use the same one. But for now it's fine. And now to test it, we have to add a multiplier. There we go. Now we have the error that I was wondering about. So the small enemy damage stat. This one was not defined on the enemy. Oh, I think I've just skipped past the error. I just haven't looked at it. So let's try to, or no, 2.5. Let's get a yeah, a float in here. Yeah, so it's throwing an error because the system thinks that those two stats are not part of the small enemy definition. So to get rid of this error, would have to go back to our enemy and to our enemy definition and add those two uh, stats. So the damage stats and the coin currency stat. So now if we save this and go back to the wave, we no longer have that error. So that was something that I remember. That's the issue that I mentioned previously. But it's not actually an issue. I think I just saw or ignored the error. It's not the error. Is just so that you don't put a stat which is not for the current enemy. Yeah, it's just at runtime it doesn't do anything actually. It's if you put a wrong stat in here, it's just not gonna work. So it's more like yeah, so you know that you've did something wrong and it's not gonna work at runtime as you expect. Okay, so oh yeah, there is one other thing that we have to we have to add that component here, the enemy entity. We have to add it in here, and let's put it also at the top. I might actually put it right after the entity root. Oh no, let's put it after the child lock, like here. Yeah. And now we can choose this. And in the internal tab, we can reference the enemy entity. And the wave manager will have to get it from the spawner. So we have to do that now. Enemy spawner, we will have to do something similar to this. Enemy reward. Let's get rid of the tower health. Reward the data, and let's use it here, like so. Awesome. Now we're gonna get this gonna be populated. Oh, I could do something in here, but that's more like for me. But yeah, that sounds interesting. So I could let's get back to here. I could make this read-only because I can't assign it from the editor. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna make every component that is assigned from the spawner. I'm gonna make them read-only. This one not, and tower health. This one is also read-only. In here, I might keep this not read-only. This for sure is gonna be read-only. Oh wait, oh this is read-only. I've actually done it for this. Well, I'm nice. I've actually done it for this. Also the spline. Awesome. So now components that are not assigned from the editor but from the spawner itself at runtime are gonna be read-only. So and yeah, so we can't actually assign values. Hello Sebi, how are you? It's doing quite well actually. So yeah, right now I was working on the economy of the game and the where the enemies die, they're gonna reward the player. But actually, oh, I'll be right Okay, sorry for that. I had to get to the door. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, yeah, I've worked on the economy and the on enemies getting yeah on yeah giving rewards to the player when they die. So right now there's no way of actually killing the enemies because we don't have weapons yet, but we can do it manually by setting the health to 0 for the enemy and seeing that. Let's pause the game so we have time to do stuff. So we have this economy manager which holds the info about the all the currencies that we have. Currently, I've just defined one, which is coins, and we have 100 coins. Yeah, exactly. Um, and yeah, let's make properties for this so we have it on screen. We get coins for killing the enemies. But as I said, right now we don't have a way of actually killing the enemies, but we can simulate that by going into the enemies um, manually. Let's unlock the components by going to the enemy's health component and uh, yeah, calling the take damage function. Right now I've set it up so um, whenever the enemy is killed, you get 10 coins. So let me get back to the enemy reward. Not reward, the health. So now if I let the game play and if I say, okay, I wanna do this much damage to the enemy and I invoke it and I invoke it. Um, why did I get why? Um, what? Fuck? What just happened? Why didn't it work? Should have worked. So right before you got on the stream, I was playing with yeah, I think this is the problem. I was playing with adding multipliers for the amount. So in a wave definition, so in the file that defines a wave, how the enemies are spawned and at what rate and whatnot, we're gonna have or we have a way of specifying multipliers for certain stats for the enemies, and that's what I was trying to do. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do earlier. So I defined a stat for the coins currency for this enemy, and then I said, okay, for this wave, I want the stat to be multiplied by 2.5. But apparently I failed, and I think I know why I failed. But I just want to be sure that that's why. So, but so I haven't. Let's get rid of this. But in here it worked. Okay, let's put a breakpoint in here, and let's see. Actually, no, let's put one in here. Let's see what it does. Um, what are you referring to exactly? Oh, I mean, it's just a scriptable object. I use scriptable objects quite a lot in the games. So it's easier. I try to keep as many things as possible away from scenes and have them like globally defined. If you want to get into scriptable objects, I have a very good talk from Unite Austin from 2017, and you can learn a lot from that. That's what I got all my ideas from with the scriptable project. I can I can search for the link. Actually, I think I have it. Can access it pretty quickly because I have it in a playlist on YouTube. That's it's so good that I have it available on hand. Um, it would be if I didn't have like a lot of um. Why do I have so many playlists? I should. I know I have so many playlists because of where is. There we go. Here's our friend. Um, is OBS here? Yeah. So yeah, it's a very good talk. Um, that one. I think I've shared the playlist as well. Um, there are other things there, not related to Unity, but yeah, that one is a good one. So yeah, you'll learn a lot about scriptable objects and why you should use them. And I can tell you they're very good for organizing data. Yeah. So getting back to this, um, let's try this again. So here's my enemy. So we have an enemy, and for some reason, um, when it takes damage, I don't get any reward back, which is weird. So let's see. Go back to health. Let's make him take a lot of damage. And over here. So we got here because I did that damage thingy. So let's see. I have this enemy reward which says okay, I have 10. I'm gonna reward the player with 10 coins. And this is actually 25. What? Well, now I'm confused. Um, what? I'm totally confused. I mean, it should be 25. That's the correct answer. But last I didn't get the currency. What? Now I got it. What the heck? I don't get it. Let's try it again. Maybe the first time it doesn't work or something. Level definition. Invoke the level. Let's pause the game. Let's try this again. No. Here, unlock components. Health. Damage. Invoke. Mount 25. That's it. Now I get currency. What the hell? Why didn't it work the first time? God damn it. Okay, I don't know why it didn't work the first time, but it's to work now, which is amazing. Okay, now we have a way of specifying a multiplier for the rewards for the enemy. So by default, we have a value set in here. So by default, this type of enemy gives off 10 points. But from the wave definition, you can change that, and you can say, okay, I want more coins. I want 2.5 more coins. Yeah, I'm very confused why it didn't work the first time. But If it works now, that's okay with me. I'll keep an eye on it, but yeah, I don't know why it didn't work the first time. But yeah, we can specify the by how much we want to multiply the currency during this specific wave. Cool. So now yeah, actually that's everything that we have to do for this task. So let's do some review of the code. Let's see what we've changed. Quite a bit. Actually, no. There are a lot of folders and stuff. So let's see what have we done to the health component. So we've added an event and oh, and we've added this. Yeah, we invoke it whenever the health is 0. Those are some folders. That's the assembly reference. This is the reward. We have load phase. We're hooking onto the health component. Then we complete the load, and in here, whenever the health is 0, we add some currency to the economy manager, and we also take into consideration the multiplier. Oh yeah, I know one thing that we have to do, a bit of refactoring. Enemy reward data. We have this. We have the actual component, which has a list of rewards and a lot of things that we need for applying the correct reward. And each word has a currency, has the stat currency, so we know, so we can get the multiplier and the amount of the amount of currency that we wanna add. Enemy entity. This is just a simple mono behavior, which holds the enemy definition, which is the scriptable object that defines the definition of the enemy. It's in the name. And we've changed something on the enemy spawner. Yeah, for the enemy reward, we've added the wave manager. That's kind of it. One other thing that we have to do. So yeah, as I said, for the enemy reward, we've made this component, this enemy entity. Let's close everything else actually. Close other tabs and this as well. So we've made this enemy entity, which holds the enemy definition. And I would like to use the same thing in the damage. Was it the damage? Yeah. So here I'd like to have the same reference. Instead of referencing directly the definition of the entity, we're gonna use this component, which holds the definition. So we only set up the definition in one place, and we can access it from multiple places. So let's get prefab back in here so we can look a bit at it. So we have the entity, which holds the definition, and right now the reward has a reference to the enemy entity, and now what was it? The damage? Yeah, the damage is gonna have a reference to it as well. Let's see this. Actually, yeah, we have an error, and that's understandable because data.enemyEntity.enemy definition. So now this is gonna change from enemy definition to enemy entity. There we go. Now we can assign the correct value. Cool. What else? What else? Yeah, there's one other thing. Actually, no. There's one other place where this value is used, and that that place is here for actually let's make an instance of this so don't break the prefab. Yeah, so for the health, for getting the multiplier, we have this proxy which says, okay, where do you want to get the multiplier from the upgrades manager in the case of the tower, or from the wave manager in the case of the enemies. So for the enemy, we'll like this wave manager proxy, which is gonna ask us for some things so he can work properly. One of them being the enemy definition. So I was thinking right now, if instead of giving the enemy definition directly, if we should actually give a reference to the enemy entity. And I think I'm gonna do that. So that would be in the health data component in here. Yeah, so we have public enemy definition, but instead I want public enemy entity. This. And I'm gonna get the definition from the enemy entity. We're gonna remove that. And in the spawner, we were using that here. So enemy entity, we're gonna get that from here, like so. Yeah. So now if we go back to our instance, yeah, the proxy now takes an enemy entity and the reference to the wave manager to apply multipliers for the health component. So now there's only one place where we have a reference to our enemy definition. And if we change it here, everything should be fine. And anyone is gonna have the same reference. That's the whole thing. But let's play the game again and see if it still works. So let's start the level. How can we know that it's gonna work? So actually, let's look at this. So wave, for the damage, I have a multiplier of 2. For the I'm gonna multiply the damage by 2. So instead of 10 damage, it's gonna be 20 damage. So yeah, let's start the level and see how much damage I get from those two enemies. And I reach the top. Yep, I got 40 damage. 20 damage from each. Yeah, so it still works. That's nice. We don't have. Oh, we ran out of music. Let's see what else can we listen to. Let's scroll for a bit. Blackstone Cherry. I haven't listened to this in a while. Yeah, let's do this. Cool. Okay, so this task is also. Let me. Oh, no, first of all, no. Let's continue with the. Actually, no, we've actually done everything in the for the review. Yeah, here we've changed the where we get the data from, and we've added the wave manager too. Yeah, I think we're good. We can finish the task. 15 minutes for this. Okay. God damn it. Come on. Awesome. Okay, now we're gonna do something very simple. So I want to have a money indicator on the screen. Yeah, I just want to write on the screen the amount of coins that we have. Actually, let's call it coins. Create coins indicator. Coins. Yeah, sure, whatever. Doesn't matter what it's called. Um, as long as we do it. So let's do that. So we're gonna have to do a couple of things. Um, so we have, I've already set up the variable for the coins. We have a variable that's gonna hold the amount of coins that we have. But we're gonna have to integrate this with the UI, so let's do that. First of all, we have to do this horrible thing. I'll have to do something different for this, but yeah, we'll see. Coins amount. So this script gets the values from my variables that I made, the ones from ES Framework, and sets the value into the what do you call it? The localization system that we use. So this, like so. Okay, so this is done. So now we're gonna have a new field here, coin amount. Now let's create that variable in here. It's gonna be an integer, like so. Save this. And now everything is set up so we can add it to the screen. So let's duplicate the health indicator. No, god damn it. Let me edit this coins indicator. Let's get to this place. Let's put it a bit down. 60? No. 100? Yeah, sure. Coins 0. This doesn't really matter because we're gonna coins amount. This is gonna be smart. It's gonna be smart as well. Instead of coins, monies. Yeah, this looks fine. Let's save this. And let's choose this for our, yeah. So now everything should be set up for the indicator. So now when we play the game, we should get 100 coins. And if I go to the economy manager and add or subtract some currency, so let's add 15 coins. Yep, the UI is updated accordingly. Let's try to get some coins out. Let's get 50 coins out. There we go. Okay, so now we have an indicator for the coins. Yeah, but yeah, this is gonna be useful after we add or we start working on the weapons. We can actually kill the enemies because right now, yeah, we can only kill them manually by going, yeah, clicking on stuff in the editor. But yeah, so this is working. We have an indicator on the screen. That was easy to do. 5 minutes. Let's log this and let's commit those changes. We've changed this. Nope, I don't want to revert. I want to see the diff. Yep, we've changed stuff on the localization thingy. We've something, yeah, in the playground we've added the noise indicator. Yeah, that looks fine. So also this is a feature. Ah, come on. Okay, okay. Now we only have one other task left to do, and it's kind of a big one. So we're gonna redo something that we've done, I think, 2 streams ago. Let's let's track the time. So let's see. Um, let's go to the enemies and the spawn. So right now we have the spawner, the enemy spawner, which spawns enemies. I mean, as the name implies. But there's something that I want to change in here, and that something is this part. So I would like to not instantiate an enemy. Um, yeah, I like not to instantiate it, but instead use an object pool of enemies. So yeah, gonna that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make an object pool of enemies, and we're gonna use the enemies from that pool whenever we need to spawn one on the screen. This is the object pool part is simple. What's not simple is resetting the enemy after each yeah after we use him. So after we're no longer using the enemy, we're gonna return it to the object pool, and I would like to reset all the values inside the enemy then, and that's gonna be um, the hard part of this. So yeah, um, let's see. Yeah, so let's just start doing it, and we're gonna figure out on the way what works and what doesn't. So let's start by doing an object pool for this small enemy. So thirdly, I've done this in ES framework. So we have object small enemy object pool. It's quite it has quite an um, yeah, it has some features that we're gonna need. Okay, so yeah, let's say that we want 10 enemies, we want one chunk to pre-worm. I'm not gonna limit, yeah, that's actually everything we need. So we've set up, yeah, so we set up the object pool to have to spawn, yeah, when the scene starts, we're gonna load 10 um, 10 enemies. They're gonna be disabled, and so yeah, or we're gonna instantiate 10 enemies, and whenever we need them, we're just gonna get them from the pool. Now what we have to do is use this object pool in the spawner, which is easier said than done. So we will need a place, and I think that place is actually here on the manager. So we'll need a way, or not a way, but a place where we can specify for an enemy definition what tool should we use. Or actually, no, we don't need that. We don't need that. Because right now, for an enemy definition, we actually save the prefab. So instead of doing this, I can just use I can specify the pool right here. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We don't need the prefab here. This is no longer necessary. And this is actually the only place where we're using it in this spawn method. So we're gonna just get rid of it. So here, instead of having a prefab, which is this, we're gonna have an object pool. Object pool. Yeah, from Yes Framework. We're gonna call it pool. Let's get back here. There we go, object pool. Let's assign it. And now we're set up to use it. So here, instead of instantiating the prefab, the enemy is gonna be actually wave enemy definition dot pool. Where's my pool? Oh no, enemy dot pool dot get. And I want it to be active. Yeah, sure. Activate it. Actually, I don't have to specify that because it's is the default. So theoretically, everything is done right now. So now let's check out this. So we should have, yeah, we have small enemy object pool. We have an object pool here. I mean, what I mean is the system knows about the object pool. And now whenever we start a game, we're actually gonna, no, this is the spawner, small enemy object pool. Here we go. So we have, I mean, they are disabled, but we have 10 enemies that we can use from the pool. So now this should work as before. When we start a level, there we go. We just got 2 enemies from the pool, and we set up everything on them. We've added all the we needed, and this works as it did previously when we had the instantiate method. The bad part is that right now, when we no longer need the enemies, or when we reach the top of the tower, in this case, we're actually destroying the objects, which is not entirely correct, because we'd like to release we'd like to put the yeah, we like to put the objects back in the pool so we can reuse them. So we're gonna change that. So in the movement, which is this one, we have this piece of code. So we have this destroy. We're gonna change that, and instead of this, oh, look at this. We have that enemy in here. That this should be changed as well. Yeah, this should also be the enemy. We should also use the enemy entity in here. Let's do that now. Entity, enemy entity, enemy entity. And I'm gonna move this to the internal tab. And after everything we do here, we are do one more thing. We're gonna need a reference to. Oh no, actually no, no, that's everything. Because yeah, we have the pool. This dot pool dot release root dot game object, like so. Yeah, yeah. So we instead of destroying the game object, we're actually releasing it into the pool so we can reuse it. Unfortunately, I don't think this is gonna work right away, at least. But let's see. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some adjustments here. Let's play the game. Okay. Actually, no. We have to go to small enemy and do that movement again. So in the enemy movement, we have to assign the enemy entity. Save this. And I'll just play this. Level manager, level definition, invoke. So it started as expected. So the first time it should work as intended, but I'm quite sure the second time is not going to work correctly. So let's look at the tower like this. And let's wait for the cooldown to run out. There you go. Oh. Well, this is something. Huh. Yeah, I haven't thought about this. But yeah, this does make sense. Yeah, so I have systems in place for not loading a component twice. So if we go to so whenever you call the load method, which is in the enemy spawner, so this one, I look at the is loaded flag, and if it's true, I just show an error in the console and just not do anything. So yeah, I shouldn't do this. I should only load the entity if it's not loaded already. Okay. So let's try to do that. If we go here, let's get a reference to what? Let's get a reference to the entity root. Oh, get component entity root. If entity, oh, come on, root dot is loaded. If it's not loaded, we're gonna do all the things in here, like so. So now we get this error that we've got previously, but it's still not gonna work. So I don't know if you saw, but we got the previously we got the enemies. So after the first cooldown finished, we got the two enemies, but they disappeared instantly. And after that, the cooldown started again. So yeah, that's the problem we have to fix. We'll have to reset some values in our components from the enemy. But for now, let's see if we fixed the problem that we with the errors. So let's put it on fast so it goes a bit faster. So we have a cooldown. We're gonna just wait for the cooldown, not skip it, so we can. There we go. The cooldown finished. We set up the wave definition, but because our enemies were not set up correctly, we actually finished the wave instantly. So the problem is that for the enemy movement, actually no, which are the enemies that? Yeah, here we go. So those two are the enemies that we've used, and yeah, so they still have this distance set up here. So I'll have to, after we or before we release the objects back to the pool, I'll have to reset those values, so we don't have any leftover code or leftover values in here, because this should be 0 whenever you get the object from the pool and it starts working. This value should be 0. So we're gonna do a system for resetting component. I think we're gonna add it to the component we previously, which is the enemy entity. So let's do some methods in here. So let's do private void release. This is gonna release the enemy definition dot pool dot. I don't have a reference to the root in here. So maybe, yeah, let's just get it. Or should I? I mean, I can put it in here. Public game object. I don't have to magically have it. Game object. Yeah, game object. Root. Or no. Let's just put it like this. So there's no. Yeah. Pool. Release. Root dot game object. Private void reset. This is the method that we're gonna implement. So we're gonna reset the other components in here, and we're gonna do a public method, which is reset and release. That's gonna call those both methods that we have in here. So reset and then release, and this is the method that we're gonna call in here. So instead of going to the pool directly, we're gonna go to the enemy entity when we're gonna do reset and release in here, like so. And and yeah, and now we have to do this reset method. We have to create a way of resetting. Yeah, we have to create a way of resetting the components. Started to think that this should be a empty component. I can do this on awake actually. Yeah. So awake, but I don't have everything I need for this. So no. First, we're gonna make an interface. I on entity reset or entity no on enemy. This is gonna have a uh, public void reset. Here we're gonna have a public array of this is gonna be private. Get components I on enemy reset. So on awake we're gonna get all the components that implement this interface, and on reset we're gonna call the reset methods on all of them. And now theoretically we can implement this, so not on enemy movement but on enemy movement data. Should we do it on data or on the enemy movement? I think I'm gonna do it on data because it has everything to do with data. So here, what do we want to reset? So we want to reset the distance, for example. We want to set it back to 0. Anything else? Anything else that we want to reset? Let's see where we use the speed stat. On update, we're getting the multiplier. That's okay. So we are not modifying the speed, right? No, no, we're not modifying the speed anywhere. So that's good. So yeah, we're gonna just reset the distance. Should be reset. I mean, not reset, but recalculate. I don't think so. Can update. No, I don't think we have to do that. Yeah. Okay. So now, if we play the game again, do we need to do anything in here? Yes, we do. So on the small enemy, we have to assign the root in here. And actually, that's everything. So let's save this. Actually, yeah. Let's play the game again. Let's start level. So the first two are going. Let's go on fast. They've died. And let's look at our enemies. We should have looked at them before so we knew which one were the that we've used. But actually, we can actually see them. So for those at the top, they have the same position, but the two at the bottom, they have yeah, you can even see them that they're at the end of the path. And let's see the movement. Yeah. So we have distance 0. We have a distance of 0 for both of them. So now, if we let the game play out, we should theoretically we should get the same enemies, and they should start going again. There we go. We've just implemented object pools for enemies. So now instead of instantiating enemies and destroying them, we're actually yeah, we're actually uh, reusing the objects. We'll have to go through all of the components to see if we need to implement this reset method. So for damage, um, for damage we don't have to do anything. I don't think so. Because we have the damage amount, but whenever we deal damage, that's when we oh no, we're multiplying it by the oh, okay. Okay, so that's a problem. So we can't actually modify the damage amount. Um, we will have to do this in here. Just multiply it in here. Now let's make this max. So you get a multiplier, we have the amount, and that's the amount that we're gonna yeah, that's the damage that we're gonna apply to the tower. So now the damage amount is not changed. We were just on the enemy movement. On the reward, we're not doing anything, we're just reading values. We're not setting anything back. And there's only one component left that we have to change, and that's the health. And yeah. Yeah, so for now we had this common component health that we've used for both the tower and the enemies. But yeah, right now I could make it so I can still make it a common component, but still keep the or add the functionality to reset the component when the enemy is put back into the pool. But I don't think that's quite okay. So I think I'll have to split the component. We'll have, instead of having this common health component, we'll have a tower component, a tower health component, and an enemy health component. And that's gonna make things a bit simpler because, for example, for the enemies we don't need a lot of the things right here. So, for example, we don't care about UI. We are not we're not serializing the values, so we're not saving them. So we can skip all the checks that we do for that. So yeah, we'll have to split this health component into two and make them, instead of being a common one, make them specialized for each use case. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna actually no, yeah, no. I'm gonna start by making the health component for the enemy. No, that's not what I wanted. I don't want this. I want a folder called health. I want a folder called runtime. Enemy health is gonna be in ESS enemies health runtime. Yeah. Yeah, let's get those components in here so we can copy paste the code from one to the other. First, let's make this data component, entity data, and it's a simple one. Let's see what do we need from here that we have to move over. So we need the base health. We want the health. We want the max health. Health stat for sure. We don't need the proxy anymore. So yeah, those are the things that we need. On top of that, we need everything that the proxy for the enemy needs, which are those two things. And let's see, we're gonna hide it. No. Oh, yeah. Let's comment everything. Actually, let's wait for Unity to compile. Please, Unity, compile this. Thank you. We have to add the assembly definition reference. Otherwise, we can't access the classes from the assembly. Runtime, apply. There we go. So now we can uncomment this. Internal tab, and it's gonna be in the internal tab as well. So we have all the data in here. Health is a namespace, but it's used like a type. Okay. Okay, that does make sense. Health, runtime health. Yeah. I'm not seeing it. What is the health in here? Oh, wait. God damn it. Why are you still bothering me with that? Okay. Okay, I've covered everything. So now we can come back to this. Yeah, to this. So let's copy those methods we're not do. Oh no, actually we need that. We're not gonna need the Y stuff. Let's assign this. So we have data. Let's copy this event. Let's for the button, and that should be it. Okay. And now all we have to do is do something here in the load phase. Let's copy everything, even though we don't need everything. We don't have this. We don't have this initialized thingy here. So let's get rid of it. We don't have a proxy, but we have the wave manager. So we have a multiplier. And what else? What else? Um, yeah, so the multiplier. Actually, do we need a max health for? I don't think we need a max health. Oh no, oh no. Actually, we're gonna need max health, but later in the future. Hmm. So the problem is that I wanna reset those. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I wanna apply the multiplier again when we reset the entity, but I actually don't want to do that before we release it, but actually after we. So for this to work, I have to do it during the wave in which I spawn the enemy. So we're gonna change things just a bit. So here, instead of doing this, I'm gonna make those both public. And let's see. There's someone that's gonna scream that it doesn't know. Yeah, here. So here we're only gonna release. Okay. No. And the reset. So let's cut this. Let's call not. How can I do that? I have to go here. I have to first implement it. I on enemy reset. Yeah, implement this, which is gonna be this. Remove every reference to the data because we are in here. There's one more. And in the enemy health, I can do the dot reset here. So when I load the entity, I yeah, I use this reset method to assign the correct multiplier, or yeah, to use the correct multiplier for the health and max health. And now that we don't, we no longer call the reset, this reset here, we will have to do it on or in the spawner, which I'm not seeing here. So here, where do we spawn things? So we look if it's loaded, do something. If it's not, do something else. So if the entity is loaded, we're gonna do the resetting here. So if the entity is loaded, we're gonna reset it and just use it as is. If it's not loaded, we're gonna load it, and that's it. Actually, let's put a false in here, and let's enable the component after we've done the load. Actually, no, we want to do it. I think we want to do it here. Set active true. So I want to enable the component before I'm doing the loading, and actually, yeah, I can actually do it here. So before I do the load, I'm gonna enable this. But in the case that it's loaded already, I'm gonna do the reset first, and then I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna activate it. Yeah. Let's see how this works. Actually, we first have to change the enemy to use the new component. Enemy health. Nope. Nope. Um, remove component. Enemy health data. Let's move this here. So I want 100 health. 100, I said. Let's put the health stat, which is this, and internal this, and nothing about the wave manager. Let's set it up. Let's unlock the children, and let's rename this health and min health. Let's add the correct component, which is this one. Let's remove the old one. Okay, now let's make some changes. So this has to be read only. Now it is. And in the enemy spawner, instead of getting the health data, we're gonna get the enemy health data. We don't have a proxy, but we have a wave manager. So like this, we no longer need that proxy. So now we can save this. We can go back, and now you should be able to play the level. Invoke. That started. Oh, what's happening here? Okay. Some references are broken, and that's understandable. Let's see where I've used this. Because in all of those places, I have to replace it with, or most of the places, enemy damage. Yeah, instead of health, this should be enemy health. enemy health, like so. No, 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 no. This is the tower health. No, this is okay. This one, this is an enemy health. And actually, that's the only one. Oh, my bad. Yeah, my bad. That's the only place. Yeah, that should do it. Actually, no, everything is cool in here. Let's try it again. Level manager, invoke. We still get errors. Not good. Because I've changed the reference, but I haven't. I mean, I've changed the type, but I haven't set up the reference in here. There we go. Nope. Enemy health, the actual component, like so. Let's log the children. Save. Get back, and first, let's get some more music in here. Let's scroll, scroll, scroll. Dark signal, sure. Let's try dark signal. Okay, so now it should theoretically work. Maybe. Okay, we don't have an error. The enemies are going up. And let's try to do something. Let's try to damage the enemies by hand. So right now they have a health of, god damn, it's a health of 0. Why do they have a health of 0? Because I said, no, I have, what I have, I did. Let's remove this. I set 100 in here. Oh no, it's correct. I think it was the old one. I got confused. Okay, so we have health. We have max health. It's 100, as it should be. Let's try to damage those, or at least one of the enemies. Let's say take 50 damage points. So now it has 50 out of 100. Oh, god damn it, I'm stupid. I had to press pause, not evoke. Pause. Okay, 50 health. Unpause. Now let's wait for them to reach the top. Okay. He still has 50 health and the other one has 100. But now if we wait for the cooldown to finish, this should be reset to 100. And that happened. Awesome. Okay. So this is working. We have a way of resetting values on the data components. So the object pool works correctly now. We get enemies from the pool, we put them back when we no longer need them, and we actually reuse them. We don't destroy them anymore. I'm wondering about. I have vsync activated. Change it from here. Yes. Not bad, but not good also. But yeah, I can live with the. Hello, Morhan. How are you? Let's try to spawn a level. Let's see how many FPS do we get. Just out of curiosity. We don't make a dent in this. I mean, we're kind of not doing anything in here, so it would be weird to have a spike in the FPS. It looks so weird without the gizmos because we don't know where the paths are. Yeah. Cool. Um. Okay. So I think this is it for this task. So let's stop the time. Okay. Okay, let's actually there's something that I haven't done, but I think I'm gonna do that later, probably next week. So we've made this health component for the enemy, and we should do the same for the tower. So we should not keep this common component because it's no longer needed. I should make a dedicated one for the tower, but I'm gonna do that in another task. I'm gonna make the task and do it probably next. Okay, let's do some review of the code. So let's see, enemy damage. We've taken the multiplier from there and we've put it on the when we reach the end path, which is nice. What else? What else? Enemy health. This is the new component. I don't think there's anything to see in here. Yeah, this looks fine. We have the data component. This should also look fine. So we have, because it's the same with the one that we had, except for the reset method. That looks fine. Enemy movement. So in here we changed the data type, I guess. Oh no, we changed how we destroy the 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 enemy. Okay. Here we've changed the data type, right? No, we've moved this. Oh yeah, yeah, we've changed. We no longer use the enemy definition. We use the enemy entity, and then we reset the distance. Enemy reward. You're using the enemy health in here, which is awesome. Enemy definition. Oh yeah, we do something here. So we've added the pool. We have to remove the reference to the game object because we no longer need enemy entity. We've added the reference to the root. We are looking for all the components with this interface implemented. And we have these two methods for release and reset. Awesome. Enemy manager. Yeah, we changed the data type for the health. This is the interface, and we've changed something on the spawner regarding the health, and actually quite a lot of things. So we use the pool to get an enemy. If it's loaded, we're resetting the entity, and we are reusing it. Otherwise, if it's not loaded, we're gonna set up everything up, and then we're gonna load the entity. Yeah, this looks fine. So yeah, let's go to enemy definition, which is this one. And now, as we can see, the prefab is no longer used, so we're gonna just remove it from here. And let's see how that looks like. Now on the small enemy definition, yeah, we have game, which we don't currently have. We have the pool, and we have the list of stats that we have on the enemy. Awesome. So that's it, I guess, for this task. I'm gonna make the task for tower health next. I mean, not work on it, but create a task so I don't forget about it. Awesome. Let's do this. Let's create a task so we don't forget about it. Create tower health component. Okay. Let's assign it to the tower. It's gonna take us like 20 minutes maybe. Yeah, sure, why not? And we're gonna throw it in the backlog. Okay. Yeah, so I think this is it for today. I think this is it. Yeah, we've done a couple of things. So we've actually kind of finished with the enemies for now. We're gonna come back and add some more functionality after we created the weapons, and probably we're gonna work on the weapons next week. But yeah, so we've finished we've made the enemies damage the tower. We've made them give a reward back whenever they die. So the player gets money or whatever, gets some currency. And we've done this awesome task. Where we use object pools for the enemies instead of always instantiating and deleting them. Uh, yeah, which is not that very efficient. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the stream here, and yeah, we're gonna continue working on the game next Saturday. So yeah, thanks for being here, and yeah, see you next stream.